بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Math grade 9 Algebra 1. We are in model 6 lesson 1, solving one-step inequalities. Solving one-step inequalities. So we want in this lesson to revise for the meaning of the inequality and how to graph the inequality, then how to solve the inequality. So the first idea, graphing inequalities. What's the meaning of the inequality? An inequality is a mathematical sentence that contains the symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal, or doesn't equal. So an inequality compares the value of two numbers or expressions using these symbols. So any mathematical sentence have this symbol, less than, greater than, or less than or equal, greater than or equal, or doesn't equal, means you have inequality. And always the inequality compares between two values or two numbers or two expressions like this. How to graph the inequality? For the example, graph the solution set of y less than or equal 4. Y less than or equal 4. The first step, draw the number line. In the middle, represent 0. To the left, the negative numbers. To the right, the positive numbers. Then represent 4. This is 4. This is the end point or the dot. Then look to the sign. If you have in the sign equals, draw shaded circle. Then the values of y, as you see, the values of y less than or equal 4. Less than or equal 4 means 4 include in this solution, and less than means 3, 2, 1, 0 means the arrow or the direction to the negative side. The direction to the negative side. So the dot at 4 shows that 4 is a solution. The heavy arrow pointing to the left shows that the solution includes all numbers less than 4. For example, graph the solution set of y greater than 1 over 2. So the first step, draw the number line. Determine 0 in the middle. To the left we have the negative numbers, to the right we have the positive number. Then represent 1 over 2. 1 over 2 between 0 and 1 in the middle here. This is 1 over 2. Then look to the sign. The sign here doesn't include equals. Means draw open circle. Open circle means this value not included in this solution. Then the values of y greater than, the values of y greater than. Greater than means up 1 over 2. Means 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, etc. Means the arrows or the direction to the positive side. The second idea, write inequalities from a graph. For example, write an inequality that represents the graph. We have this graph as you see. The end point as you see here 1.4. Look here. Note here we have open circle. When you have open circle means this value not included in the solution. So means in the sign we don't have equals. We have just greater than or less than. Then look to the direction. The direction to the negative side means the solution or the values less than 1.4. So you can choose any variable, for example, A, and the values of A less than 1.4, but doesn't equal 1.4, 1.4 because 1.4 not include in this solution. So the endpoint is shown with a circle at 1.4, so 1.4 is not included in the solution, so the inequality must be less than or greater than. But the arrow points to value less than 1.4. And the graph represents the solution of, represent here the variable A less than 1.4. For example, here, write an inequality that represents the graph. We have, as you see, this graph. As you see, the endpoint here, -10. Look here to the circle. We have shaded circle. When you have shaded circle, means this value included in the solution. Means you have in the sign equals. And look to the direction, to the arrow here. The direction to the positive sides means the values of the variable greater than or equal -10. So we can write here the variable, for example, x greater than or equal, because here we have shaded circle, we use equals in the sign, and we have the value here -10. -10. Now we want to learn solving inequalities by using addition and subtraction. Addition property of the inequalities. If you have inequality A greater than B, if you add the same number to the two sides, you have a true inequality, no change in the sign. As you see here, A plus C, and here B plus C, and we have the same sign, no change in the sign. And also, if you have this inequality A less than B, if you add the same number, A plus C, less than B plus C, means the same sign here. You have true inequality, no change in the sign. So if you add the same number to the two sides of the inequality, you will get the true inequality. And the same idea, if you subtract the same number, subtraction property of the inequality, if you have here A greater than B, if you subtract the same number from the two sides, for example here A minus C and B minus C, as you see we have the same sign, no change in the direction. So we have the true equation, the true inequality. And if you have A less than B, you can subtract the same number from the two sides, A minus C here and B minus C here. So as you see, you have the same sign, no change in the signs. When solving inequalities, you can write the solution set in a more concise way using set builder notation. What's the meaning of set builder notation? When you see this brackets, the name of this brackets, builder notation, builder notation. For example, x, we read this sign such as x greater than -4. And the name of the brackets here, builder notation, and the name of the all form here, set builder notation. Represent the set of all numbers x such as x is greater than or equal to -4. For example, solving inequalities by adding. Solve x minus 10 less than 15. Always remember, when you want to solve the inequality, try to keep the variable alone in the same side. So we want to keep x alone in the same side. So we want to remove negative 10 from here. How to remove a negative 10? Add the inverse, add the opposite number. The inverse of negative 10 will be positive 10. So add positive 10 to the two sides. Now negative 10 and plus 10 will be 0. Remains here x less than 15 plus 10 will be 25. So x less than 25. Then we can write the solution. Set is open the builder notation here. Then we can write x such as x less than 25. For example, with the second example, we have minus 9 plus 3. Less than or equal 16. As you see, this is the variable b. To solve this inequality, try to keep the variable alone in the same side, in this side. So try to remove negative 9 from this side. How to remove negative 9? You can add 9 to the two sides. As you see here, 9 and minus 9 will be 0. Remains here b less than or equal 16 plus 9 will be 25. This is the solution of this inequality. How to write the set of built solution or notation? Open the built notation. Then write the variable b such as b less than or equal 25. Then close the built notation. If you want to graph this inequality, graph the number line, represent in the middle the 0. Always remember, to the left we have the negative values, and to the right we have the positive values. 25 positive, so represent 25, for example, here. You have in the sign equals, means use shaded circle or cross circle. And the direction be less than means smaller than 25. 25 and smaller than means to the left. The direction to the left. Who has any question about this idea?
Mister, can you invite Chalk Safe?
Raise your voice, please.
Can you invite Chalk Safe?
Sure.
Yes, please.
Okay. Solve inequalities by subtracting. Solve x plus 24 greater than or equal 61. To solve this inequality, try to keep the variable alone on this side. So try to remove 24. To remove 24, add the inverse to the two sides. So negative 24 here and negative 24 here. 24 minus 24 will be 0, remains x. Greater than or equal 61 minus 24 will be 37. Then you can write the solution set x such as x greater than or equal 37. For example, to solve this inequality, we have here 88 less than 88 less than x plus 13. To solve this inequality, try to keep the variable alone in this side. So try to remove the number 13. How to remove 13? Add the inverse. Minus 13 here and minus 13 here. So 13 minus 13, 0 remains here x. And here we have greater than. And here in the second side, 88 minus 13 will be 75. Then write the set of solution x such as x greater than 75. X greater than 75. If you want to graph this inequality, graph the number line, represent the 0 in the middle. Always remember to the left you have the negative numbers. To the right we have the positive numbers. Then represent 75, for example 75 here. As you see, we don't have equal in the sign. Means draw open circle. Then x greater than. The value of x means more than 75. So to the right. To the positive, the direction, to the positive side. Who has any question about this idea? No questions? Okay. Add or subtract to solve inequalities with variables on each side. Solve 9y plus 3 greater than or equal 10y. And we can keep y alone in this side, or we can keep y alone in this side. The same idea. In this example, we will keep the y in this side. So we want to remove 9y from the side. To remove 9y, add the inverse. Negative 9y, add negative 9y here and negative 9y here. So 9y minus 9y, 0, remains here 3, greater than or equal 10y minus 9y will be y. Then you can write the set of solution y such as y less than or equal 3. For example, here we have 7x plus 6 . Less than 8x. To solve this inequality, We can keep this variable here alone, and we can remove 7x from the side. So you can add the inverse of 7x would be negative 7x to the two sides. So negative 7x and 7x will be 0. It means here 6. And here we have the same sign. 8x minus 7x will be x. So x greater than 6. X greater than 6. So we can write now the set of solution x such as x greater than 6. Greater than 6. And if you want to graph this equality, you can draw the number line with this 0 in the middle. Here you have the negative side, and here you have the positive side. Represent the value of 6, for example, 6 will be here. Look to the sign. We don't have equal in the sign, so draw open circle. Then the values of x greater than 6. The values of x greater than 6 means the direction to the positive side. Who has any question here about this idea? Is it clear for all? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. How to use an equality to solve a problem? If we have word problem, we can write the equality from the words, and we can solve this equality. For example, here, Hassan's wireless contract allows him to use at most. At most. So we can write the suitable sign from this word, at most. 5 gigabytes or GB of data per month. At this point, Hassan has used 3.7 GB of data. How many gigabytes of data can Hassan use during the rest of the month without exceeding the maximum allowance? Complete the table to write an equality to represent how many gigabytes of data Hassan can use. Then solve the equality. From the words, as you see here, Hassan can use at most 5 gigabytes of data. The variables let G means the number of gigabytes that Hassan has left to use. Equality. How to write the equality? Hassan used 3.7 plus the remaining gigabytes. G at most means less than or equal 5. So this is the equality. Now we want to solve this inequality. We want to remove 3.7 to keep the variable unknown on this side. So we can add the inverse to the two sides. So negative 37.3.7 on this side, and here negative 3.7 on this side. 3.7 minus 3.7 will be 0, means here G less than or equal 5 minus 3.7 will be 1.3. Then we can write the set of solution, or the solution set. G as G less than or equal 1.3. We want to learn how to solve inequalities by using multiplication and division. If you have inequality A greater than B, and if you multiply the same number, you will get the same sign. No change in the sign. But if this number positive, if this number negative, if you multiply the two sides by negative number, you will switch we will find the sign will be switched to the opposite sign. Here a greater than b will be here a times the negative number c less than b times the negative number c. And also the same idea when you divide. If you divide the inequality by the same number and this number positive and doesn't equal 0, you will get the same equality, no change in the sign. But if you divide the two sides by negative numbers, you will note the sign will be switched to the opposite sign. For example, we have here negative 2 over 5x less than or equal 11. To solve this inequality, we want to remove negative 2 over 5. How to remove the fraction? Always when you have fraction, multiply the two sides of the inequality by the reciprocal of this fraction. What is the reciprocal of negative 2 over 5? Negative 5 over 2. So multiply the two sides by negative 5 over 2. Negative 5 over 2 times negative 2 over 5 will be 1. 1x less than or equal 11 minus 5 over 2 will be negative 27.5. Then you can write the solution set x such as x greater than or equal negative 27.5. Then we can graph this set of solution. We can graph the number line. Then negative 27.5 between negative 28 and negative 27 in the middle here. And we have in the sign equal means draw a shaded circle. And the values of x greater than this value means the direction to the opposite side. But here, as you see, when you multiply by negative number, as you see the sign here to the right, the sign here to the left. Always remember, when you multiply the inequality by negative number, switch the direction of the sign. Switch the direction of the sign. Solve 20x less than 4. Graph the solution set of a number line. So 20x less than 4. Divide the two sides by 20. 20x divided by 20, 4 divided by 20. So here x, here less than, here simplify this fraction, you will get 1 over 5. Then write the set of solution. X such as x less than 1 over 5. Then you can graph this solution. Represent 1 over 5 between 0 and 1. And we don't have equal here, so draw open circle. Then the values of x less than means the direction to the negative side. And in this example, we have 7x greater than negative 161. To solve this inequality, try to remove 7 from this side. How to remove 7? You can divide the two sides by 7. Divide here by 7, divide here by 7. So 7 divided by 7 will be 1x means x greater than negative divided by positive will be negative, and 161 divided by 7 will be 23. Then we can write the solution set. We can write x such as x greater than negative 23. And we can graph this inequality. Represent 0 in the middle here. Here the negative side. And here is the positive side. Now, negative 23, for example, here. And as you see, we don't have equal in the sign, so we can use open circle. Then the value of x greater than, the value of x greater than means the direction to the right. Who has any question about this idea? Is it clear for all? Okay. Here's the same idea. Negative 13z greater than or equal to 117. To solve this inequality, divide the two sides by negative 13. So divide here by negative 13 and divide here by negative 13. Always remember, when you divide by negative number, switch the direction of the sign. As you see like this. Here to the left, now here to the right. 13z, negative 13z, divided by negative 13 will be z. Less than or equal 117 divided by negative 13 will be negative 9. Then we can write the solution set will be z such as z less than or equal negative 9. And we can graph the number line here, represent negative 9 between negative 8 and negative 10 in the middle. And you have here equals in the sign means draw shaded circle. Then z less than means the direction to the left. Right. For example, if we want to solve this example, we have negative 13x negative 13x greater than negative 169. To solve this inequality, we want to keep the variable alone, so we want to remove negative 13. To remove negative 13, we can divide the two sides by negative 13. And always remember, when you multiply or divide by negative number, change the direction. Change the direction of the sign. Negative 13 divided by negative 13 will be x. And here 169 divided by 13 will be 13. Then we can write the solution, the solution set here, x such as x less than 13. Then we can graph this inequality. This is 0 here. This is the positive sides. And this is the negative sides here. Represent 13, for example, here. Look to the sign, we don't have equals in the sign, so draw open circle. Then the value of x less than means the direction to the negative side. Who has any question about this idea? No questions? Is it clear for all? طيب, I will send to you the homework. I want from all to solve the homework, then send me again in the teams. Inshallah, tomorrow we will check the homeworks and we will solve it together. Okay? So this is our period for today. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.